So, we approach the end of January, the first month of 2026, and let me tell you, scary times are well and truly ahead as we kick off another game week of the EFL starting right now. Hi again, it's me. Today, we're doing my EFL Gameweek 27 predictions, and oh my days, already, we are less than 14 game weeks away from until the playoffs. Can't believe it. But the last of the day like ourselves is at least a 7 likes today. If we get that, would be nice. And make sure to subscribe with that as we try and get ourselves up to 300 subs by the summer. If we get that balloon, 3 things gold, and it no messing about the Friday night. Bristol City taking on Derby now. Woo! Bristol City up to 7th after beating Sheffield Wednesday easily 2-0 to against Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday, and Derby. Derby. Yeah, they're down to 11. I think they've stayed in 11, but it's going to be a tight end watch, really. I think that Bristol City will probably win here again. I think they probably will, and they'll enter the playoffs. I think for a day. Stop yapping. I think Bristol City will win here on the Friday night. A 2-1 win to Bristol City for this one. Now, we're in the other Bristol team, Bristol Rovers, for the 22nd versus 23rd relegation clash in League 2. Bristol Rovers take on Newport now. It's Derby Day at Bristol Rovers. We're at the Memorial Stadium. Can't even believe it. Both teams are absolutely dog shit. I'm not gonna censor it because I don't count that word as a swear word. But yeah, it's a really tight game to watch, really. Last time I met, it was at Newport on the weekend that some of my the people I know that Coldplay performed at Wembley. It was the weekend that Coldplay performed at Wembley, and it's really a tight game to watch, really. Last time I met Bristol was on 3-2, and they were 3-0 up at one point, and Newport scored the final 2. But it's going to be different. It's going to be different. It's a different outcome. It's going to be very, very tight. I think Bristol Rovers will finally end their losing run at the Memorial Stadium. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. It could come down to the wire. Bristol Rovers will finally win here in this big clash at the Memorial Stadium. 1-0 win to the Bristol Rovers to push them away from the relegation zone. Then back down to earth now. We're going to take on MK Dons now. Ooh, both teams are well and truly on hot form right now. 5 wins for MK Dons, and also 4 out of 5 wins for MK Dons, and 5 wins in a row for Grimsby. Impressive scenes for them too. So this is going either way, really. Grimsby are literally 9th place in the playoffs. Just a couple of points off Swindon in the playoffs, and it wasn't that long ago. Swindon were literally 2nd place. They've dropped down big time, but it's going to be a tight game to watch, really. I think it's going to be a tight game to watch, really. I don't think both teams will win. It's going to be a tight one. I think a tight 2-2 draw at Grimsby for this one. And then to the Yorkshire Derby now. Bradford take on Doncaster now. Bradford is slipping big time. But it ain't their fault because all of their games they've recently played, Cardiff, Lincoln, Huddersfield, and you can't help it really for Bradford, but they're facing off Luton next. They're facing off their Yorkshire rivals Doncaster, and Doncaster's on form right now. They've actually turned a page, and now 3 unbeaten in the league. So this could be quite concerning. But I think that Doncaster could get something out of this one. Bradford will probably fail to win in 4 after this one. I think Doncaster's going to get something out of Bradford again. A 1-1 draw at Bradford in this Yorkshire Derby. And then to Sheffield Wednesday and Wrexham now in the lunchtime kick-off. Sheffield Wednesday. Their season's already over before February. It's actually over. Barry Bannon has sadly left Sheffield Wednesday as a club legend. He has joined Millwall. Barry Bannon. Yeah, it was an emotional farewell. He didn't get to get his actual final goodbye to the fans at Hillsborough. He just actually had to go because how bad Sheffield Wednesday are behind the scenes. It's so dark, and it's way darker on the pitch. 35 plus points of safety. It's so dark, and I think Sheffield Wednesday will lose again. I think Wrexham will win here. I have a feeling a 3-1 win to Wrexham, and they actually go and I think they're going to maintain in the playoffs, which I cannot believe they are in there. And to Leicester taking Charlton now. Leicester, first game without Mark. I don't know the surname, but it's Mark. I think that's the first name of the former Leicester manager, who's got sacked after losing 2-1 to Oxford last Saturday. Absolutely embarrassing, losing 2-1 to Oxford at home. Something that Ipswich didn't lose to. They lost away to Oxford, but they didn't lose. They beat Oxford at home on New Year's Day. So it could be a tight game to watch, really. But I think that Leicester manager bounce here incoming. Charlton, I'm sorry, but 3-0 win to Leicester incoming. Watch it happen. And then to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now. It's 21st versus 20th. Portsmouth take on West Brom. West Brom 20th, but the good sign is their away losing run ended to a 1-1 draw at Derby on last Friday night. So yeah, it could be a tight game to watch. Really, last time I met at Fratton Park between these two, West Brom battered Portsmouth 3-0, and wow, it could be a tight game to watch, really. But if West Brom loses and other results doesn't go their favour, they could potentially be in the relegation zone. That is really scary times if they lose this one, but it could go either way. I'm going to go for it. Another 1-1 draw. It's going to be a tight one at Fratton Park. And then to Ipswich take on Preston now. Ooh. Yeah, let's not talk about what happened when the last one made cover. But and also Saturday. No. Let's not talk about what happened on Saturday. It was absolutely embarrassing for Ipswich to lose to Sheffield United. Embarrassing. And Preston also lost 4-0 to Middlesbrough. Well done. Look what he made, Preston. Wasn't really their fault, but who knows, really. I think Ipswich will win here again. I think Ipswich will get back to winning form, or get another win here. I think Ipswich will get revenge on Preston. A 2-0 win to Ipswich for this one, incoming. And then the Middlesbrough take on Ugly now. I never thought I was saying this, but I hope not. But I hope Ugly wins here, because Ugly beat Coventry 2-1. I'll get on the commentary in a minute, but what a performance Ugly performed, and they're literally 18th in the league. If they win here, they could literally go above Sheffield United, who were literally neighbours with them just a couple of months in the relegation zone. And all my days, that is actually impressive what Ugly's doing with their new manager, with their manager they had just 2 months ago. And yeah, they've actually turned a page. I hope Ugly wins here. I hope Middlesbrough drops points. I hope it happens here. The first time in a while, I'm going to be saying this in a video. A 2-1 win to Ugly. Watch it happening. It could actually happen. It could happen. That's what I'm saying. 2-1 Ugly. And then to QPR take on commentary now. Ooh, yeah, that's not. Every QPR fan must be covering their ears right now. Losing the 7-1 to commentary at the CBS Arena. But the good sign is you scored the final goal in that game. So that was a good sign. But, or was it? Because QPR lost. They were 2-1 up against Wrexham heading to the 90th minute. So I bet one random QPR fan went to the toilet, came back, they were losing 3-2. And that made Wrexham enter the top 6. Unreal scenes to Wrexham and QPR, but yeah, it's going to be a very tight one. But Coventry away from home is concerning, and not to mention, they've only collected 1 point off of both East Anglian clubs all season. Embarrassing for Coventry, and no wonders why they might not be top of the table for long. They might not be there for long. But who knows, really? It's going to be a very tight one. QPR will get payback. 1-1 draw. They're going to take something from Coventry back. And then Millwall take on Sheffield United now. Millwall have got Barry Bannon of Sheffield Wednesday. He has moved from Sheffield Wednesday to Millwall, Barry Bannon. And I think this could be his debut incoming for Barry Bannon. So it could be a tight game to watch, really. Sheffield United. I don't know what happened on Saturday. You do not need to rub it in, but it could be a tight game to watch, really. Millwall is 5th in the Championship and again in the table, but it could go either way here. It's a very tight one. You don't know what Sheffield United would turn up here. You don't know which one would turn up. Millwall smashed Charlton 4-0 last Saturday in the London derby, so it could go either way here. But I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw at the Den. And then heading into League One now, with Stockport taking on Plymouth now. Whoo, Stockport 2. I think they won in the midweeks. I don't know who, but yeah, I don't know who. I forgot, but yeah, I forgot. But yeah, what a win it was. Up to 4th. Stockport are now. And yeah, they beat Blackpool 2-1. Yeah, they beat Blackpool 2-1 on Tuesday night, and what a win it was, sending them up to 4th, above Bradford, the dark horses, and. Yeah, Plymouth were doing quite decent. Unbeaten 5 now, though it's still 14th in League One, so it could be a tight game to watch really. Last time I met, Plymouth smashed Stockport 4-2, so imagine that happens again, but imagine it does, but who really knows what could happen here, but Plymouth can actually pull something, but I think they'll be in the lead. I think they'll have 5 goals here. I think they'll have a 3-2 win to Stockport for this one, but Plymouth, there'll be a time Plymouth will be 2-1 up. And then the Wigan take on Lincoln now. Ooh, bit of a tongue twister, wasn't it? Or was it? Who blooming knows? But yeah, Wigan 19th place, Lincoln 2nd place. Oh yeah, they both end in uns. So yeah, they sound quite similar to each other. But yeah, one is literally 2nd place, smashed another dark horse 3-0 on Tuesday night. Wow, that is really impressive, and no wonders Lincoln could literally become a championship club in a few months' time, and they could go to Wolves away, West Ham away, and Burnley away, and maybe, hopefully not, Portman Road away, or maybe, stop with the yapping, but it could go either way here. I think Lincoln will win here again. I think Lincoln is going to win again. 2-0 win to Lincoln for this one. And then the Burton thing on Cardiff now. Cardiff smashed Barnsley 4-0 on Tuesday night. Burton, it was heartbreak for them on Tuesday night, losing 2-1 to Bolton in the 94th minute. Yeah, but I remember the last time I met, Burton actually beat Cardiff at Cardiff on last night, and it was Tuesday the 30th of September 2025. And Burton actually pulled off a result. That's actually kind of impressive for Burton, but could we see a replay like this actually happen again? But yeah, I have higher doubts. You know what Cardiff did to Barnsley. You don't know what they could do to Burton here. But I think Burton will score, but Cardiff will ace through it. A 3-1 win to Cardiff for this one. Then the Peterborough take on Huddersfield now. Ooh, Peterborough 10th place, Huddersfield 6th place. Both are doing quite well, but Peterborough lost to I don't know who in Tuesday night, but Huddersfield won 1-0. 1-0 twice in a row. Beat Bradford 1-0 and Luton 1-0. And they were both literally around them in the table. And the goal they scored against Luton, halfway line, coming in hot. Absolute kudos to Huddersfield, winning 1-0, and they were down to 10 men, Huddersfield. So, absolute impressive for Huddersfield. I think they could win here again. It's with 3 out of 3 for Liam Manning at Huddersfield. A 2-0 win for Huddersfield for this one. And heading to Mansfield taking Wickham now. Whoo! Mansfield 12th place. Yeah, I don't know what happened on Tuesday night, but I know they're drawn 1 on Stevenage, and Wickham are doing quite decent, really. 8th place in League One. They're just a couple of places off the playoffs, and overtook Luton on Tuesday night after they lost 2 in a row, sadly. Well, it's gonna be a tight game to watch, really. It could go either way. It's gonna be a tight fence for this one. I think it's gonna be a tight 1-1 draw at Mansfield. And then to League Two now, with both teams, with 2 of the lowest goals conceded teams. Oldham take on Cambridge now. Woo! Last time I met, Oldham won the game 1-0 at Cambridge to get Oldham their first win of the season in their first season in the EFL since 2022. And Oldham are doing alright. They're doing alright, but yeah, they had their game called off on Tuesday against Barrow because Barrow had a waterlogged pitch. So yeah, at least they get some extra days off, but Cambridge had to do the hard way and beat Shrewsbury 1-0 at home, I think, and they have Wowie Wall, and yeah, 5 wins in a row for Cambridge, 13 unbeaten for Cambridge. That's kind of a club record, I think, for Cambridge, but I have been the top two teams that conceded the least amount of goals this season in League Two. This could be a very low scoring game. I think both defenders of the teams will be fire. I think it could be very low scoring. It could come down to no one scoring, but I don't know. But I have a feeling it could be really tight. I think I'll have a 0-0 draw. Got both goalkeepers will throw off masterclasses, and defenders will also throw off masterclasses. And then Gillingham on Bromley now. Bromley are running away with it, beating Swindon 2-1 and dropping points to Crewe on Tuesday night, but they're still top of the table by 6 points. And Gillingham, Gillingham are doing alright. They're 13th place, but they also had their game called off on Tuesday night against Cheltenham. So yeah, Gillingham has had a couple of days off, or a couple of days rest. But yeah, it's really good game to watch, really. It's going to be a tight game to watch, really. Last night it was a 2-2 draw on the Saturday tea-time kick-off in the first international break of the season. But it could go either way. It could be a tight one. It could go either way. But I think that Gillingham will probably get something over Bromley. I think they're only just 1-1 draw at Gillingham. And then the Swindon thing on Barrow now. Ooh, Swindon, yes. I'm concerned on Swindon because 2 weeks ago, it was one of my friends' birthday, 2 weeks ago. And ever since it was her birthday, Swindon had actually lost 4 in a row in all competitions. So that is concerning now. They lost 2-1 to Bromley. No, they lost 3-2 twice to Salford. Lost 2-1 to Bromley and lost 2-1 to Notts County. So that is kind of concerning. But at home this time, an out-of-form Barrow, who are sat 19th, and they could go to 20th and lower. But I think Swindon, they'll get back to winning ways here. I think Swindon will ace through it against Barrow comfortably. A 3-0 win to Swindon. They're going to get their first win in 4 for Swindon. Then to a big relegation tussle now. Another one. Crawley taking on Harrogate now. Whoo! Crawley, what a performance they pulled off against Barrow and Walsall in last game week. And really impressive, Crawley. And being the better team on Tuesday night against Walsall. How did they not get something of how did they not get 3 points against Walsall? It's kind of unreal. But Crawley are starting to run away from the relegation zone and trying to get out to safety as fast as possible. And they need points fast. And they're doing it the right time. And it's, yeah, and I have a feeling, Harrogate, this is kind of getting darker now. Harrogate 24th. No wins in 18 in the league. That is really scary times for Harrogate. And especially, I think the league is starting to get harder for Harrogate. So, yeah, last night, Crawley won winning, and that ended up being Crawley's first one of the season. So, Crawley could do the double here, but it could go either way. But I think that Crawley will win it. I think I have a 2-1 win to Crawley. Crawley will make it 2 wins in 3 and be unbeaten in 3. And into the final game now. Chesterfield taking on Walsall now. Woo! Chesterfield 8th, Walsall 6th. The only way that's in the middle of them two is Swindon trying to break it up, and literally, Swindon is literally Chesterfield's neighbour, and if they overtake them, they're in the playoffs. So, yes, it could go either way. It's going to be a tight game to watch, really. Walsall drawing 2 0-0s in a row, and it's, yeah, they're slipping. They're down to 6th. First time being below Notts County this season, or I think this season, but at this stage, it's the first time I've seen them outside the top 3 at this stage for over a year. So, yeah, it's going to be a tight game to watch, really. Last time I had Chesterfield, there was a 2-2 draw, but we could have a replay like that happen, but it could be tight. I think it's going to be a very tight 1-1 draw at the Technic Stadium at Chesterfield. But yeah, if you were wondering, here is the rest of our predictions for this game week and the fantasy team right here. And if it's my predictions, you can comment down below or your predictions will be. And if you thank you for this video, I've enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share. And I will see you guys later. Bye!